Hello students, welcome in your social science class. Students, as you know that we have completed chapter 17 of civics, fundamental right, duties and directive principle of state policy. In this chapter we discussed about fundamental rights that are given by our constitution, fundamental duties, and after that we discussed about directive principles of state policy. On the base of reading, we have completed part A, B and C, and after that we have completed D part of your textbook. We have completed the question answer of D part. Today in this class we are going to discuss E part of chapter 17. So, first of all, we will discuss the first question. Explain the 5 provisions given under the right to equality. In this question, we have to discuss about the 5 provisions under the right to equality. First of all, student, under right to equality, there are 5 provisions. First provision, you can write equality before law as it is given in your book. Right to equality. First right to equality. Under this fundamental right, there are 5 provisions. First, equality before law. Second, prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion, caste, race and place of birth. Third, equality on opportunity in the matter of public employment. Okay, there should be equality in the matter of public employment. Social equality is there. All the people are equal. Third provision, equality on the opportunity in the matter of public government. Providing public government, there should be no partiality on the base of caste, religion and birth of place. Everybody should be given equal opportunity in the matter of government job or employment. Fourth point, as in this slide, that is the first point, abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability means that earlier there was untouchability was an evil in Hindu custom, or that was a social evil. Now it is banned by the government, it is banned by the constitution. Now it is a social evil. Now it is not a social evil, it is prohibited by the constitution. Untouchability means that discrimination on the base of caste. So now it is banned. Fifth point, abolition of titles. Earlier it was continue and it was started by the British government. British government provide different titles to the people, and that was a directly discrimination on the base of upper and lower. Clear? Now it is a abolition by the Indian constitution. So beta, here are the 5 points and 5 provision you can say under the right to equality. Now let's discuss the second question. Our fundamental rights are not absolute or unlimited. No doubt Indian constitution, our constitution has provided us fundamental rights, but it means not that these are unlimited, okay, and these are absolute. How you will support your answer? You must give the suitable example to support your answer. First of all, it is very important to know that fundamental rights are the basic freedoms. These are the basic freedoms given by the country to its citizen in order to protect the social, political, ethical and economic standing of the citizen. First of all, it is very important to know that fundamental rights are basic freedom. this statement that our fundamental rights are not absolute or unlimited. How you will prove this statement? With the help of the following examples, we will prove that this statement also. First point, the citizen have the right to express themselves. You know very well that the right to freedom, under right to freedom, the right is given by the constitution that we are free to speak or express ourselves. But it means not that there should be no hate speech according to the constitution. There, it means not that if you are feeling bad to any person, if you are bad feeling that any group, then you can speak as you are feeling bad. Okay. Next point, the constitution give us the right to choose. We can choose any profession. We are free to choose any profession. Okay. But it has that it should be that, however, it also to be safeguard the minority community. No doubt majority community is free and they are more in numbers, they can be dominant or minority community, but government, the constitution provide the safeguard to the minority community. Third point, the constitution give freedom to speak, but there is a censorship as well. Freedom of speech is given, but here is also censorship, means here is also ban. You cannot speak at any place what you are like, what you, if you are bad feeling is there, not feeling good about any person, then you can speak as you like. People have the right to set up business. Okay, according to the constitution, our fundamental right is there. We can set up our business any part of the country, but it also required that have to follow the certain requirements. Freedom of choose any freedom, it means not that you are free to choose any wrong profession like smuggling, gambling, okay, hoarding, that is against the constitution, and on such type of profession there is it is considered a crime or a offense and a punishable act. Next point, citizen have the right to contest election. No doubt anybody who is Indian has right to contest the election, but he or she has to fulfill the certain requirements or certain criteria. A person who want to contest the election, he or she has to fulfill the certain criteria. It means not that a person who is contesting the election, he can win the election by using the wrong methods, by wrong ways, by playing the dirty tricks. Okay, and he or she must have follow the certain criteria that is fixed by the our government or the constitution. So these 5 points prove that our constitutions are that fundamental rights that are provided by our constitution, these are not unlimited. There is a choice, you can answer, there are 2 answers, okay, and you can write the second answer also. According to the second answer, how you can say that our constitution provided us the fundamental rights, but these are not unlimited. It means that as you want to use your fundamental rights, you are free to use as you want. There are some restrictions are there. First, to prevent spread of infection diseases, the free movement of people can be restricted. No doubt you are free to move one place to another place, but if a person is suffering from infection diseases, then a person can be then the government can restrict that person to prevent the infection diseases. Second point, freedom to take any profession does not mean to take up gambling, smuggling. According to our fundamental rights, every person is free to follow any profession, but it means not that we are free to any type of profession like gambling, smuggling, hoarding. These are offense and punishable. Third point, nobody can claim to be a doctor unless he or she is not having the essential qualification. Nobody can claim a doctor or a lawyer if he or she has not a required qualification. Fourth, freedom expression does not mean to write anything. If no doubt our media is free, okay, and we are also free to express our feelings as we are liking that if we are feeling regarding others, it means not that we can write anything what we want. Okay, here is also ban. Fifth point, not to instigate communal violence. Okay, we are not free to spread the communal violence that are harmful for our country peace. So these are the 5 points. I think you must write the second option. Now come to the third question. Classify directive principle of the state policy and explain each of them. Now come to the answer. Directive principle of state policies have been grouped into 4 main categories. These categories are economic principles, social principles, Gandhian principles, and principles related to international peace and security. Now explanation. Economic principle. First principle under economic principle, the first point, to secure equal pay for equal work for both men and women. There should be equal wages or equal payment for equal work. There should be no discrimination on the base of gender. Men and women, if they are working equal work, then there should be equal pay. Second point, to provide adequate means of livelihood for all. There should be according to economic principle, everybody should have the adequate means of livelihood so that they will be able to fulfill their basic requirements. Like nobody should be starved, no should be without cloth, and nobody should be without a shelter. Next point, social principle. According to social principle, to make efforts to raise the standard of living and public health. According to social principle, effort should be made by the government to increase the living standard of the people. Living standard of the peoples means that nobody should be live under such a condition which are not good for their health, like slum area, clearance of slum area. Everybody should be provide a good area and that should be hygienic for their health. Second point, to guard the children against exploitation and moral degradation. Sometimes children are forced by their parents or circumstances force the children to work under a hazard condition, and they are exploited at their place, and much work is taken by the owners. So government should made a policies which are favorable for the children, and there should be restrictions on the exploitation against the exploitation of children. Children should be respected and there should be no moral degradation. Gandhian principles. According to Gandhian principles, first, to organize village panchayat. Village panchayat is the basic of our judiciary system, so it should be promoted. Second point, to promote cottage industry. Cottage industry, the industries which are small industry, very small industries, and which are run by a person with the help of his family. Like example, port industry. A porter, a person can prepare the ports with the help of his family, and the material he or she that require in their city, and he or she can sell the product in his own area. There is no need to go for the raw material outside of the area, and there is no need to sell the product outside from the area. Like the potter prepare the pots with the help of soil, and he or she will be that able to sell the product in his own area. So these are the cottage industry, and the government should make the policies that to promote the cottage industry to help the poor people who are not able to run the large or big industries. Next principle related to international peace and security. To maintain just and honorable relationship between the nation, government make the policies to maintain the honorable relationship between two nations. Like our government always form the policies which are always that favor of a good relationship with our neighboring country. And that history, there are many example in our history that we have always good relationship with our neighboring country. Next point, to promote international peace and security, our government should make the policies which that increase or promote the international peace and security. Next question, highlight the main provision to right to freedom. Right to freedom, according to right to freedom, first provision is right to freedom of speech and expression. According to this right, every person is free to speak or express himself or herself. Second point, right to assemble peaceful. We can gather at a one place peacefully without any arms, without weapons. Third point, right to reside and settle in any part of India. We are free to live and settle any part of India where we like. If you are living now in Haryana but you want to settle in that Himachal Pradesh or Jammu, in other state of country, that you can live there. Right to choose or adopt a profession. If you want to change your profession, and you are free to change your profession, we are free to choose any profession which you want. Right to form an association. Every person is free to form a union. Like many unions are there, teacher union, student union, doctors unions. Every group have many types of unions are there. So it is our fundamental rights that we are free to form union or association. Next point, fifth point, according to this right, freedom to practice any profession, okay, or carry or any occupation. We are free to practice or profession, any kind of a profession. Next, fifth and very important question. In spite of freedom of religion, here inspired is written, but actually the word is here in spite of. In spite of freedom of religion, why lies that communal tension is persist in certain part of country, suggests the mean to establish communal harmony. No doubt that our constitution has provided us that right to equality, right to freedom of religion. But in spite of these freedom, religious freedom is given by our constitution. But now there is a communal tension. People fight on the base of religion. Okay? People fight on the base of religion, and there is no harmony among them. So why? First of all, you have to write the answer why there is communal tension in some part of a country now. And after that, you have to suggest how you can establish a communal brotherhood. In spite of freedom of religion, communal tension persists in certain part of a country. Sometimes due to the following reason. The reason behind that communal tension are here. First, differences in opinion. We have a different opinion. People belonging to different social, political and economic backgrounds have a different views about the different issue, and they may create indifferences. In our family, that member of your family may have the different view, and when every person in our family have the different view, there are more chances that clashes are there. So our country is a very vast country. Many person belong to different caste, different religion, different language, okay, and they have the different backgrounds. So if they are having the different backgrounds, so it is obvious they have the different views. So they have different views regarding different issues, so it create a indifference. Next point, intolerance. That is the burning issue these times. These time it is a burning issue. People being intolerant, okay, don't accept ideas and values of people belonging different culture and tradition, ethic. In our house, we have also that intolerance power. We never try to tolerate other, especially teenagers. They have lack of tolerance, and in our country people are living of different religion, so they are not ready to accept the values and the ideas of other culture and religion. So intolerance is the main cause of communal tension. Third point है prejudice. Prejudice means that in the society don't allow the people to live in harmony. Okay, this idea never allow the people to live together. Some custom became unacceptable to few while they are norms of others. Some custom became unacceptable. Okay, some custom in that exist in some particular religion, and then a few to few while they are norms, and we are considered that custom and customs of other religion we considered unacceptable. These custom and beliefs of in other religion and which are unacceptable by others. So this never allow the people of different religion live together. So these are the 3 points which are the causes of a communal disturbance or communal problems. Communal tension persists in certain part of a country, sometimes because of difference in opinion, intolerance and prejudice. It also take place sometimes just to harm the principle of any religion. Okay, so in that many examples are there. Many times people fight on the base of religion. These are the main cause that we are not ready to accept the opinion, values, custom and tradition of other religion. So there is a communal tension in our some part of a country. Now the way and the means to establish communal harmony. How we can establish peaceful relationship with the other religions. How we can cooperate, how we can establish harmony, communal harmony. First, we should understand that all the religions are equal, important, and thus we must respect all religion. It is our duty that we should always try to understand all the religion, and we should always try to respect all the religion. Second point, we have to create secularism ideas in our mind. If we are mind, okay, just we read in the books secularism, everybody will find that many times speeches are there on the base of secularism. To preach is very easy, but to follow is very difficult. भाषण देना आसान है और उसको मानना बहुत मुश्किल है. We must also create secularism ideology in our mind, okay, not in our speech. Third point, we should not judge anyone on the basis of religion. We should provide equal treatment to all religion. We should always try to respect the sentiments of other religions also. Next point, we should let other religion to practice and propagate it freely. We should not try to interfere, disturbance in other religion. We should allow them. Let them means we should allow them to practice their own religion, to propagate their own religion. Sometimes more people are that habitual to interfere in the custom and the religion, custom and the tradition of other religion. Sometimes they considered themselves superior and other religion considered inferior. So such type of feelings we should avoid. if we want that there should be communal harmony in our country, so we should follow these points, and some points that we have discussed in video and online classes by through slides. You can write the other points also. If you are having other points in your mind, you can also write. Thank you. Have a nice day.